Hello spooky souls, I trust you're all doing super well today. We're back for another session of attempting to find real, genuine footage of ghostly encounters. I mean, so far we have actually found some stuff that I certainly suspect is real. Also, we've debunked a load of chuff as well, so I think we're doing pretty well so far. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to everybody who has stumbled across this, what is now becoming a series, and have left some really beautiful comments and have subscribed and joined our little family over here in our little nook on YouTube. I'm very grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. What lovely things you guys have had to say, and I deeply appreciate it. Just wanted to tell you that, I love you. Without making it weird, I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate it. So Dee Dee is joining us again today. This time I've given her a little piece of smoky quartz to protect her and also to protect me from her should she pick up any, grand ideas from the footage that she's witnessed. Before we get into things, I'd also like to address some of the weird happenings that I've been experiencing since I've recorded the last two videos. I did say in the first video that I don't like to watch this kind of footage. At least I don't like to do it. It fascinates me. So I do like to watch this kind of footage. Let's just be honest. But I don't like to do it frequently because I've noticed that when I do expose myself to this kind of content, I basically become wide open. And as a psychic medium, a spiritual medium, it's really dangerous for me to do that. So I just watch this kind of stuff when I'm feeling A, particularly robust, and B, brave. And C, when I haven't watched it in a while. I've now, since starting these videos, I've been watching this content way more frequently than I usually would. I noticed that there's just been some strange things happening. Yesterday, I experienced a series of, albeit very, very mild, but still unfortunate events. I've been hearing knocks and footsteps and weird whispering noises and feeling like there's someone around that's basically with me. Honestly, I knew that this was going to happen. Some could argue that I manifested it because I believed it would happen, so therefore it became my reality. I'm a big manifester. I'm a big advocate for you create your own reality given what you're thinking about. So yeah, you could definitely argue that I created this for myself. And honestly, I would say that probably half of me would absolutely agree with that. At the same time, regardless as to why I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing, I'm still experiencing it, right? So it doesn't really matter where it comes from, what it really is. It is my reality right now. I thought it might be nice for us to protect ourselves before we start watching this. I might just be being overly paranoid, right? I might be just being a bit paranoid. I might just be being a little bit crazy, but if it works, it works. And I feel like if we don't do it, then we're not even trying, right? But at least if we do it and it does nothing, no harm done, right? And if we do it and it helps, then great. This is a protected space. Only positive energy may reside in this space. I protect this space for it is where I reside. It is my home. I protect my body for it is where my soul resides. I do not and never will I permit negativity of any caliber to enter my sacred space, to enter my body, or to enter my mind. I think that'll do. Let's get into it.
After watching the video, the real estate agent was shocked to see that someone was in the house.
Oh,
They
damn.
don't recall ever seeing anyone else inside.
I didn't see that at the
Based on
time.
the footage, someone was there. Or so it seems. Looking at the video again, it appears that whoever this was just suddenly disappears. As quickly as they appear, they vanish without a sign.
Oh, I don't
Although it's
like
unknown
that.
what the agent thinks,
They were pretty
viewers
solid
believe that
looking.
something paranormal was caught on camera. But of course, I'll leave it to you to decide if that's so.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh no, I don't like that. I mean, it certainly looked like a woman, didn't it? Wearing like a nightgown, like from back in the day. That did actually give me goosebumps. Is it paranormal? I'm always very skeptical of, as scary as they are, I am always skeptical of like full body apparitions like that. I mean, apparition, I use the term very loosely because that person in the kitchen looked very like solid, you know? I mean, I personally don't often see spirits in like a solid form, like as solid as, you know, I am sitting before you right now. And I usually see them in my mind's eye, not with my two physical eyes. This is why looking for this kind of stuff on video really fascinates me, because only a handful of times have I personally, as a psychic medium, seen spirits, you know, solidly with my own two eyes. More often than not, if I'm going to see something with my own eyes, it is a shadow or a wisp of like fog or smoke looking stuff, like more of an apparition than seeing them as like a person, like flesh and blood. This person with the camera, the estate agent, they obviously didn't see it with their own two eyes either, which is why seeing stuff on video just further fascinates me, because you can pick things up on camera that you can't see with your own eyes. So yeah, I know I'm saying this a lot, but I'm gonna need to see more like evidence, more footage to be able to really pinpoint, yeah, that's real, or no, it isn't. Just looking at this video at like face value, unknown, but absolutely very, very creepy, and I don't like it. Not a fan.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage.
I don't feel good about this at all.
I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
Okay. There was nothing to be found. I just like, I mean, he's doing like the right thing to kick up maybe residual energy as well as intelligent spiritual energy, because when you recreate an energetic state, it goads it to sort of come out. So he's doing the right thing, singing a song from the era and riding the elevator like people would have done. But yeah, he is absolutely fearless.
Reason I had to move out of my flat. I was home alone.
No, that's not real. It's very creepy, but no, that's just your mate. It's not real. Oh, these ghosts are just taking liberties now, aren't they? I can't show that on YouTube. Can I just say that I'm finding a lot of clips that I can't show because it's just people wearing a sheet twerking.
Please, not today. Lie down. Go lie down. It's okay. Lie down. Stay. Been doing this all morning and I don't have time for this today. Stop. Hey buddy. I got too much going on. You gotta cut it out. Oh shit. Okay. I'm just gonna set it up. Paper towels. And we'll just let the phone roll. I asked you if you gotta go or you gotta go downstairs or something. Wherever you're gonna go, you gotta go. Calm down. He's okay. Please, Not today. Just, holy cow.
Yeah, this isn't real.
Little buddy.
Little buddy. No, it's not real. They just don't move like that. They don't need to walk upstairs. You saw the figure doing this, right? As he was coming up the stairs. They don't need to do that. They don't have feet. They don't have a body. They're not walking up the stairs. They're just moving through our environments. They don't need to, walk up the stairs. It's ridiculous. The dude is not a brilliant actor, I'm afraid. Sorry, pal, but you got to work on your realism. What tipped me off was his body language when he went to like close the door and then he opened it up again and he did this with his hand and he was like, not today. Like, I don't need to stay. I've got too much going on. Like, not today. And it was this movement that he did with his hand that wasn't very natural to me. I've said this before, I'm not a body language expert. However, I do take an active interest in it and also in human psychology. And I feel like there were lots of things wrong with this video. I think, in my humble opinion, not real. By all means, let me know what you think, if you think it's real. I don't think it's real. Do you see it?
What is that?
Okay, let's pretend that's real. Yeah.
What?
Let's pretend that's real, Fear. Come on. Come on now. At least try, Try, do better. Try harder.
Here's enhanced audio of the search of Shannon's closet, the laundry room, and the master bedroom where she was unalive.
So sad.
It could mean a high, intense fight. So it could mean several things because the body chemistry changes
Sure.
on all that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of these are motion activated. These are the shoes that she took the scent off of.
Okay. That's you. Well, there's probably a first thing to appear.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thing to appear.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The energy coming off of this is, you see, I'm actually tearing up.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that noise came.
Yeah, it sounded like a kid toy.
It might. It sort of sounds like it.
Something. I heard it.
That one, did you hear it? That one, did you hear it? That one, did you hear it?
I did.
Sounded like a kid giggling or something, didn't it? Or a kid.
It did.
Where did that come from? Because all he did was go straight in there.
I mean, they've got a dog with them. I would be paying attention to the dog.
I definitely heard the same thing you did.
Yeah, and then he just sort of turned around and looked. But I didn't expect it to register. Was she on any, oh no, she was pregnant. I was going to say, do you know about drug use in the house or pot?
Not that we know of.
Pretty. Definitely scent coming out of there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's turn that fan on.
I don't really understand what they're searching for. Oh man, that was actually really emotional to watch. For those of you who might not know what was going on there, a couple of years ago, Chris Watts was having an affair and he unalived his wife, Shanann, who was pregnant, and his two young children, Bella and Cece. When this happened, for some reason, I was just very compelled to. I mean, I'm a big fan of true crime anyway, but this in particular just really caught me in the feels, way more than really any other case I think I've studied. It was just such a bizarre and sad story that this guy Chris, he showed no ill will ever to anyone or anything ever in his whole life, and yet one day he strangled his wife Shanann in their bedroom in the early hours of the morning. The two girls were in bed. Chris and Shanann had been having a conversation which became an argument, so presumed that he was telling her, you know, I want a divorce, I've met someone else, and he ended up strangling her to death, and then he put her body in the back of the truck on the floor, and he took the two girls, put them in the back seat, and drove them out to his place of work where these big silos were in the middle of nowhere. And then he smothered the two girls one at a time, and then he dumped their bodies into silos. And then he came home. Whilst he was out dumping the bodies, that's when the police phoned him to find out where he was, because Shannan's friend had now called the police because she was there to pick up Shanann and she wasn't in the house, or she wasn't answering the door, and so she was worried that there was something going on. And so when you watch the body cam footage from the police, you see Chris then driving back. Now knowing what he was driving back from doing, it's just nuts, absolutely nuts, really, to think about. This was his first time being at home, having done what he'd done, and he's letting the police in, and he's like, oh no, I don't know where she is, I don't know where the girls are, I don't know what's going on. It's just so upsetting, really. And even to this day, you know, Chris he's obviously been put away for life, and he's been interviewed, and he just speaks about it in a very matter-of-fact way, like he's just completely shut off from his emotions of what he's done. Doesn't seem to really show any remorse. The only remorse he really showed was when he was in the interrogation room and they brought his dad in to see if they could like crack him, and he did. He just completely broke down in front of his dad and confessed everything. That was the only time he really showed any emotion. It's just such a sad story, so bizarre. A very long-winded roundabout way of me saying I think this footage is absolutely real. You know, if you're a fan of true crime and you've not yet delved into the Watts family story, then as morbid as it sounds, I do highly recommend it. It's a very compelling story. It's just unreal, really, that it all just happened in the space of, you know, an hour. I'm still deeply fascinated as to why he did it, and I don't think anyone's got to the bottom of that question, including Chris himself. I think another thing that I find really fascinating about the whole thing is that, like, when you're watching true crime and stuff, like I watch a lot of true crime, I never really consider these people, you know, they're now unalived, so now they're going to be a spirit, you know, floating around in the ether. This seeing this footage, I suppose, just added another layer of mystery to the entire thing for me, because not only are we aware of the lives that they had, the terrible thing that happened that ended those lives, but also the afterlife that Shanann and her children are now experiencing. It's just like mind-blowing, really, to think of it in that way.
Even his family are watching TV when all of a sudden his shorts are getting pulled by some force. We can see that he notices the pulling and stares down at his shorts confusingly. Could this have been caused by one of the possibly haunted dolls? You decide. And when he least expects it, this happens.
Yeah, I'd say that's real. Yeah. I mean, I've told this story before in my experiences in Haunted 104 video. Check it out. I'll link it just here, where my boyfriend at the time and I stayed in a hotel and he was reaching into his backpack and I was standing next to him and he was wearing a hoodie that had like the toggles. When he leant over, one of the strings got like pinged. You know how like if you grab the bottom of it and then you pull it so it's taut and then you let go and it will just like ping back up like that. It did that, and at the time I didn't really register that that's what I'd seen. But then when all the activity started, once we got back to my house, 104, I then remembered that event and pinpointed that actually that was probably where it started. So yeah, I go into more detail in that story in that video. So if you want to know, then go and check out that video. So yeah, having clothes pulled and messed with and stuff, I have had experiences of that. You know, his reaction was pretty genuine, I think. And this is presumably his daughter, this little girl, you know, sat up and sort of looked as well. Like, that was weird. I'd say this is real. As soon as you start experiencing things like that, you're in trouble. Spirits of our loved ones, they don't do things like that. They don't do things like that because they don't want to scare us, right? They're our loved ones. They don't want to upset us and frighten us. So, you know, you got something like that going on, it's never anything positive. Is this adult asleep whilst there's a young child, 2 young children, in the back, unsupervised? Is that what I'm seeing? I mean, you say my wife was terrified after that. I'm terrified. I think she's also pregnant. Oh, she's not asleep. Okay, she's not asleep.
What was that? I don't know.
But still, I mean, she's not exactly setting a great example to her children right now, is she? Is that judgy? I'm probably being a little bit judgy. I'll shut up.
Oh, come on, guys.
Okay, I mean, can I just say that I feel, isn't it interesting that I had this like judgment, right, on this mother that her 2 kids are in the back doing something at the table. They are basically, visually, they are unsupervised. The mother is just lolling around on the sofa. It's obviously the middle of the day. Like, what are you doing? And then the sofa moves, which makes her get up and be a bit more proactive with her life. I'm 100% behind the ghost for doing this. I probably would have done the same thing if I was in her house. I'd be like, come on, up you get. Why don't you interact with your kids whilst they're young? They don't stay young forever. You got to make the most of it. I find it interesting that both myself and the ghost like wanted the same thing. Yeah, I think this is genuine. I do actually think that this is genuine. All jokes aside, I think that this is genuine. It was a pretty real reaction of her to, I mean, she can move, right? She can't half move if she wants to. It was indicated with her lolling around on the sofa, like maybe speed wasn't her most treasured attribute, but you know, I was wrong. I'd say that was real fear that made her move that quickly. You can't fake that kind of speed, right? And there's also no reason to also frighten your children unless you are a piece of shit parent. I think this is real. Yeah. Ooh. I mean, it'd be really easy to fake this. Really easy. You know, get this stuff on a fishing wire, yank it, insert the little SLS cameraman afterwards. And I can't verify if this is real or not. I'm going to say it's not. I just don't feel like this is real. You can't, there's too many like variables, and there's too many hidden places as well. Like, we don't see the entire room. This big open space in the back, there could easily be someone back there. Like, no, not real. Not real until I see more evidence of it being real.
A man in Texas has been experiencing some strange activity on his property. He has never seen the next-door neighbor, and there are several abandoned structures on the property. He decided to set up a CCTV camera in his backyard to try to get a better understanding as to why he is hearing strange noises at night. One night, just before bed, he felt the need to check on the camera and was absolutely stunned by what he witnessed. Just behind his shed, he captures what appears to be a small, childlike apparition walking on the neighbor's property from left to right. The fact that he has never seen his neighbor, and all structures on the property appear to be abandoned, it's difficult to assume it's a regular child walking in the dead of night.
I'd say the only reason it's assumed that it's a child is because of its size and height. I think this is real footage, but I don't think it's real paranormal footage. I think that this camera was set up, and so was this, I don't know. It honestly, it looks like a cloth, but it's a light material, isn't it? Because it sort of waves around and it has a lot of movement to it. A light, thin, small piece of cloth is hanging from something that's possibly like a pulley. I know it sounds very elaborate, but it really looked like that to me. Someone on a pulley, and they're pulling it like this, which would make it do this movement across, which looks like the cadence of, you know, someone walking. I think that that's what's going on. This camera, night vision and very grainy, it looks like an unexplained phenomenon. This person's assuming it's a child's spirit. I don't think it is. I think this is fake. I think this is deliberately engineered to be fake. This absolutely 100% is real. When you see the ghost of a Dachshund, you're in serious trouble. You really need to call in an exorcist. So I think that's a brilliant clip for us to end on. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me today. I appreciate your beautiful, spooky faces. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. I don't post anywhere on social media. Patreon is my social media feed. So check it out. You can join for free. Helps me out. Gives you an insight into my weird and wonderful, spooky life. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Get into something creative today. Feed your soul today. Remember that you are important and you are loved. And I will see you guys in the next one.